Hi, my name's Theron Lewison, and I'm a level designer, and this is my demo reel. I'm going to talk about my high-speed, action-packed racing game I built in the Unreal Engine called Pyramid Slide. The experience I wanted my players to have was the thrill of driving a high-speed precision dune buggy through the desert environment filled with exciting moments. I focused a lot of my efforts on building the environment to allow precision driving and to create a beautiful aesthetic that complemented the game. Another feature added on later was the point system, designed to give motivation for the players to explore the level and to take other trackways. I'm going to talk about the different pathways that you can actually take in my racetrack. As I was laying out the design ideas for my track, I came up with 5 main trackways with 3 to 4 choices per track to make them unique. Making the pathways different from each other, they would finish at different times, and you could collect different points on different tracks. Taking the longer paths, you would earn more points but finish at a slower rate, and taking the shorter paths, you would earn less points but you would set a faster track time. As I was designing my pathways, I ran into problems because there wasn't much difference than time. I had to design scripted moments, so I came up with 4 different moments that added something to each trackway. My first scripted moment is the swinging doors. This swinging doors is a little linear than some of the other ones. The doorway stops halfway through the middle for a brief second, so players can actually speed by this if they're going fast enough. But if the players slow down or hesitate for 1 second, they actually might hit the door. My second scripted moment is the fallen pillars. During the lower village part, players will hit a trigger that causes a pillar to fall halfway through the track. If players are hugging the right side of the track, they're going to completely dodge it. But if players are still a little in the middle, they actually might get hit by the pillar, which causes them to reverse and go back and lose a few more seconds than they normally would. My third scripted moment is the fallen rocks from the cliff. As players get closer to the cliffside, the camera is going to shake once they hit a trigger box and the rocks are going to start falling. Players are going to need to speed by the rocks, but if players aren't too fast, the rocks can actually crush and hit them or knock them off the track. My fourth scripted event, the Monolith Pathway. The Monolith I chose to make a 1 trigger event. When players trigger this event, they're going to hit a slow-mo timer and they're going to make a jump. If players successfully land the jump and speed through the pathway, the monolith won't hit them. But if players mess up the jump or go a little slower than normal, the monolith will fall and block off that pathway, causing the players to go back. I chose to make this a one-way pathway because it gives the highest points and it reduces the time for players to complete a lap by 10 to 20 seconds. I want to take the time now to talk about the problems I have overcome during this whole game. I had 2 big problems while designing this level. My first problem was my lighting when I first set it up. The lighting gave shadows onto the racetracks. As players know, lighting helps them through pathways or helps guide them. Somehow, my lighting was the opposite. The dark pathways were actually pathways for players to go through, and the light ways were actually just walls where players just slammed into because they thought they were the pathways. So I swapped the lighting to what it is now, where there's no shadows and the level's a lot more brighter and it looks a lot more luscious than what it was. My second biggest problem was the terrain. If the terrain was slightly higher than normal, my tires would hit that terrain and randomly just stop the car, making it look like I hit an invisible wall. During playtesting, I found out players did not like this at all, so I had to go in and smooth out every little section of my level, making sure that my buggy did not randomly hit invisible walls anymore. I want to say thank you for checking out my demo reel, and I look forward to hearing from you.